Coming up next, I'm giving y'all this prison story about the time I saw an inmate attempt to climb over the barbed wire in Big Yard, and things didn't go his way. Stay tuned for the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey.
What up? We are back with my Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Alright, now, I know y'all saw that thumbnail, said dude look crazy. And y'all saw the title, that's exactly what happened. And we're gonna get into it, y'all. But first, I want to take 5 minutes and let's talk about where and what place does mental health fit in prison. What y'all think, people? Get in the comment box. Alright, so in prison, y'all, they lump everyone together first. And then they attempt to weed out the gang members and the assault people, you know, the violent people. They try and separate everybody as much as they can. But as everyone knows, people and things fall through the cracks all the time. So it's not uncommon that you'll be mixed in a pod where you have unalivers, chomos, gang members, etc., etc. I mean, you could have Bloods, Crips, Muslims, Kings, all in the same pod with a handful of chomos and simple burglars or, you know, people in there for lower crimes. And right there, that alone is a bad mix, because now you have inmates that are willing to push that blade mixed with the ones that just really want to go home, and they got short time. Never gonna end up good. The short timers are normally the ones that end up getting extorted and robbed and beat up, etc., etc. Because honestly, a lot of them are scared to push that blade or scared to fight back in fear of getting more time added onto their sentence. But when you already got a 15 or 20-year bid to do, oh, extra 2 years, that ain't nothing. I take that on my chin. Let's get it. Now, the worst part about prison, y'all, is mental health. I don't think personally they evaluate people the way they should. They might sometimes have you talk to somebody in the psych ward or a therapist, what have you. But, I mean, if you lie and they believe you and they don't do vigorous tests to find out whether you're telling the truth or not, you know, they could totally overlook your mental incapacity and drop you in a regular pod, where you're going to now be abused and beat up and whatever have you. That's on the bad end. On the worst end, the mental patient himself goes into the pod and starts causing trouble. Now, it's one thing not to be scared to push that blade because you got a lot of time to do. But it's another thing not to be scared to push that blade because you just crazy as heck. You ain't got no ops. You ain't got no beef. You ain't trying to rob nobody even. But somebody that will walk up and straight start poking you up in the lunch line or in the pod for no apparent reason. Oh, that's crazy. And that's the type of individuals that you will be around in prison. Now, you see jokers talking to themselves all day, walking around the pod, having whole conversations. And, you know, people are, hey, man, is he talking back? Is he talking back to you? You just a big joke walking around the pod for everybody. And a lot of times that egging somebody on makes things worse. You will have people straight up walk up and punch you in your face and try and walk off. And then when you punch him back, hey man, what you hit me for, man? What you hit me for? Dude, you just punched me. Man, you lying. I ain't touch you, man. I ain't touch you, man. Yeah, I know it sounds ludicrous, but it definitely goes down in the prison pods. And a lot of times, because inmates on a regular basis do not snitch on each other, nobody goes to the officials and says, hey, you gotta get this dude out of the pod, man. He crazy as hell, man. Nah, they not gonna do all of that. It's gonna be prison justice. They're gonna end up whooping your crazy ass out and putting you on the gate. They're not gonna ask to get you out of there. They're gonna get you out of there one way or another. And you lucky if they put you on that gate. Sometimes them beatdowns are so brutal, you don't make it to that gate. But y'all don't hear me though. Oh, we about to get into it. We about to get into it, y'all. Hold on. Let me get a little bit of this coffee in me. Yeah. Ain't nothing like iced coffee. Now, this story, as usual, takes place in a pod. Me, my cousin Dee Dee, about 3 or 4 of the Bloods we rocked with in the pod, my boy Jimbo, and my boy Cal. We normally took over a table in the middle of the day room every day. And when I say took over, we occupied it, meaning it wasn't a time during the day that 1 or 2 of us weren't sitting at that table. So if anybody else tried to come and sit at that table, whoa, chill, homeboy. They coming right back. They just went to the bathroom. They coming right back. This is where we kick it at. This is where we make our plans, where we, have discussions about what's going on in the pod. If there's any politics that we got to get into, DPs, all of that shit. This is where it happens at. Or this is where it starts, at least. So, and sometimes we playing cards or whatever have you, making plans for the cell phone use. We had a program. We had 2 cell phones that we circulated amongst us that, we made sure that when it was time for the person to get it, we made sure it was a smooth transition. And we would do it for, say, 2 days at a time. You had a phone for 2 days, then you got to pass it off to this person and that person and that person. And, with certain responsibilities, you had to charge the phone up before you gave it back, erase your numbers, keep the volume on low, make sure the phone is always off when it's not in use. There's a lot of rules, but we maintained it. And, that's how we rocked in the pod. You got to survive in prison. You got to have a hustle and a way of a means to reach out and touch somebody if you got to, meaning the outside world. It's harder to make things pop off on the jail, the phone on the wall versus getting a text message out right away. Boom, it's done. Order sent. Now, from this table, which is in the middle of the pod in the day room, you could hear almost everything going on around you, in front of you, behind you. So the tables weren't that far apart. You got to talk kind of low if you don't want your business out there. So the table right next to you, which may or may not be full, you can hear kind of what they got going on or whatever, and this and that. But you also hear people when they're walking by, if they're walking, having conversations as they're walking. Now, it was this one joker in the pod. We called him Skits. That was short for schizo. And yes, y'all, you guessed it. Schizo was batshit crazy. This dude would never be walking with anybody. What he would be doing was walking circles around the pod, talking to himself, having full-on conversations with himself. Like, walk by and look into his left and right. Like he got somebody here and somebody here. Might have been, his mind playing tricks on him, but he's having these conversations out loud, walking by. So every single time he walks by, everybody look up. There you go again. Yo, that nigga really crazy, bro. Why is he even in here? I don't know, man. Like, somebody ought to tell him, like, this dude gotta go or something, man. He on some other shit. And nobody was going to actually get up and do that, though, because that's also a form of snitching. Anytime you go and open your mouth to CO about another inmate, even if it's for their own good, you still just snitch, bro. And everybody gonna look at you like, well, yeah, I know he was trying to help dude, but if he'd go and tell the guard real quick to come in here for that, he'll probably go snitch on some other shit, some real shit. So everybody avoids it and just hopes that maybe the officer will see it himself and take his own actions, which almost never happens because they don't really want to come in there and do anything. They really want to hurry up, do their walk, and get back to that comfortable seat they got so they can play with their phone. Now, unless you get the COs that, really like making inmates' lives miserable, then they'll come in the pod all day long just to taunt you and mess with you. So, every time this Joker went by, people would just be laughing. Yo, you see this dude? I mean, the whole pod, y'all. And it was just that. One day, everybody was just chilling in the pod. And dude wasn't walking around. So now it's kind of out of the ordinary. And when you get used to things being a certain way, you start to notice like something different, something weird, something. Oh, Skits ain't out here. Where the hell Skits at, y'all? Skits over there in his cell by himself. Like, I guess he was still talking to himself, but it looked like he was making a plan of some sort. Excuse me, y'all. Now, the reason we called him Skits was because it was almost like this nigga could turn it on and off. 1 minute, he could be talking to himself, and then the next minute, something would click in his head, I guess, and he could have a regular conversation with you. So, I guess this was one of those days that something told him to go talk to people. So now, we back down in the day room, and Skits is walking normal pace, going up to the, he know everybody. So, hey, what up, man? What up? Hey, any of y'all want to get out? You're like, get out? What the hell you mean get out, man? Go ahead, Skits, go ahead. He go over to the next group of people. Hey, I'm getting out of here, man. Y'all want to come with me? Y'all want to come? I'm getting out of here, man. For real. For real. I'm going, man. I'm going. And nobody paying him no mind. So by now, he done went up to probably 5 or 6 groups of people. And of course, ain't nobody paying him no damn mind. Go ahead with your crazy self. Ain't nobody trying to go nowhere with you, Skits. Nah. I don't know what you talking about, but it sound fugazi. So, Skits, alright, whatever. I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm doing it. Even if I gotta go by myself, fuck it. Now we wondering, what the hell could he have up his sleeve? How could he be planning on getting out of here? He got some ends with the guards or something? What he mean? He going to a mental institute? What the hell he mean he getting up out of here? Ain't no way. He don't got no tools, nothing. So, fast forward, y'all. Everybody's out on Big Yard. People lifting weights, people jogging around the track, people walking around the track. That's our exercise. We're getting our fresh air. You got people shooting fades behind the building over there. Initiations going on out in the Big Yard. People passing stuff through the fence to other yards. There's a lot going on in Big Yard. There's a lot for, let's say, 3 guards to monitor. Now, mind you, the guards are only up on the towers. They're not even on the yard with us. They're up in the towers. But from those towers, they have binoculars like on top of the Empire State Building. And they can see down, what's going on the yard. And it's their job to scan the yard continuously. Now, they know a lot of crazy stuff is going down in the yard. But they're not going to get involved in every little incident. Normally, they don't see the fights. They will come if they see a fight happening. But they see people passing stuff and whatever. I guess the way they feel about it, if you get it in and out through the metal detectors, in and out of the building, then, hey, you deserve whatever it is you got going on. At least I would want to believe that's why they let it happen, and not just because they're lazy as shit. So, the one main thing that they protect the most and watch the most are the walls, people. The walls in prison are protected at all times. Now, mind you, some of these walls have electric fences in them. Some of them, they have heating elements. There's different little tricks that you don't know, and knowing is half the battle. So, if you touch those gates the wrong way, like certain gates, not the regular gates inside the yard, if you happen to get outside of that first regular gate, and then behind that is another gate with barbed wire on it and all of that, not only are the guards focusing on those gates, but those gates protect themselves. So, Skits, we see him at the far left corner of the yard. And we're like, yo, what's that nigga doing, yo? Yo, hey, yo, I think he trying it, yo. We see him scaling the first smaller fence, keeping us in the yard that's connected to the building. We see him scaling it. And we're like, yo, that nigga going. Now, where he's at scaling that fence, he's kind of behind the building where people be catching fades at. So, that one is short enough for him to get over. It's behind the building, actually. It's short enough for him to get over that gate without alerting the guards. They can't see him scaling it if he stays behind that building. Now, the very next gate, that gate has a huge, like the top of it, it's got like this much barbed wire. You need something really strong, a coat or jacket or something, to scale over that. So, this guy made it over the first fence. Now we like, yo, he really going. And everybody, they're like, fuck it, don't look. Let him do his thing, because we don't want to alert the guards that if we all looking to the left, they gonna start looking to the left. So, we start heading to the right. Like, we don't know what's going on. Now, here's where it gets crazy, y'all. He got him a sweatshirt with him for the barbed wire. But by the time you get over that first fence, you're only this high. That one goes up about maybe 5 inches higher, which at that point you can't hide from those towers. So he gets up there to the top, right under the barbed wire. He tosses the shirt up there, the sweater, and he lays it over a section of the barbed wire. In prison, when it comes to scaling those fences and even remotely coming close to that barbed wire, there are no warnings and there are no warning shots, people. Now, a lot of y'all think that there are no firepower, no weapons in prison, but that's so far from the truth. There are no weapons in the building accessible, but on the outside, on Big Yard, those towers are equipped. They have rifles. Now they have 2 different type of ammunition. They got rubber bullets for minor incidents that happen in the grounds on the yard, like fights and this and that. They could lay somebody down real quick without doing too much damage to them. And then they have live rounds for people stupid enough to try and scale the fence. And well, y'all, what do y'all think happened? Get in the comment box, y'all. I'm going to tell you anyway. They loaded up those live rounds. And like I said, y'all, they not holding back. As soon as you get anywhere near that barbed wire, they letting off. So, Skits hopped his ass right on top of the barbed wire over that, section that he covered. And while he's attempting to try and make it over, they let off all 3 guards from all 3 towers. You got a barrage of bullets coming your way. The trifecta. Doom, 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 doom. Now he up there trying to dodge the bullets like he's Superman. He's squirming all on top of the barbed wire. Now he done rolled well off of the section that he covered. Now he's in the barbed wire full on. He getting shredded, y'all. Help, help. Ain't no more help, Skits. You was true to your name. And ain't no more help coming for you, Skits. This is the last hurrah. They did not let up their fire until he stopped squirming around, y'all. Not only did this man get shredded by the barbed wires, continuously ripping through his skin, left and right, through his face, his arms, his legs, he's stuck in the barbed wire, riddled with bullets, leaking. The Skit's just up there twitching. Stuck. Now, y'all, when they finally got the proper machine to go up there, you know, the thing like the phone company got, go up there, extend, and the crew got his body down from that barbed wire, we were still on the yard at this point. Everybody was face down on the ground if they didn't want to get popped. That was the order given before. Get down now. Period. We could see when they dragged him down out of that barbed wire. We could see chunks of him missing. It was very, very brutal, y'all. I don't know how many holes this man had in his body. You couldn't even recognize his face anymore when they dragged him down from that gate. And well, y'all, that's just the way things go in prison. So I'm going to tell you again, stay free, people. Stop committing stupid crimes to end up in stupid places. And if you really do have a mental disability, seek help before you end up someplace where nobody is going to help you. Prison will not help anyone with a mental incapacity. They'll just make it worse. Listen, y'all, I really hope you like that story. This is the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. And with that, I'm going to get on up out of here. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner, and
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen, then you can get dealt with. Prison justice like you never felt it. I be taking y'all back to stories of the helpless. That lava I spit, get your boys' stories melted. I spit about prison justice cause I dealt it. And you a real hater if you can't respect it. All that bullshit, yeah, I'm here to check that. Any confrontation, I'ma show up. Bet that. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at. You a real hater, I'm here